precursors to labor were you experiencing Braxton Hicks?
Yes, I had Braxton Hicks from 16 weeks on. And they say, yes, they say the longer you have Braxton Hicks, the faster your labor will be. So, and the reason I was in labor from that Thursday until Sunday was because I was having a lot of back labor, and not everybody has back labor, but you literally have like the worst pain throughout your entire back, and then your stomach starts to cramp because that's a contraction, so you have like cramps throughout your entire midsection, and it's pretty terrible. I felt that the contractions were actually worse than the actual birthing part. Some people might not say that. It depends on each person. So, and I had an all-natural birth. I didn't have any epidural. I didn't have any medicine, nothing. So it was all natural.
But doctor assisted, right?
Yes. So.
Right here in Chapel?
Yep. Dr. Chrissy Johnson did everything. So. What else? But yeah, I read enough. I read what to expect when you're expecting, and I read at the beginning of each new week. I read that week's thing about the things you should normally be feeling and that kind of thing. You don't feel all of the things that they say, but you do feel some of them. And it is a nice book to read. So I'll show you Kitty. He's sleeping right now. But he is 11 and a half weeks old now. And he weighs about 12 and a half pounds.
So
And
he's doubled his weight.
Yes.
In months?
Yeah. And they want typically to have you your baby double their weight within the first 4 months. So, and if they don't, then I think they just supplement with them. I don't know. The first 2 weeks he was alive. It was really scary because he left the hospital weighing 5'5", and then we went back a week later and he only weighed 5'4". So I had to come in every single day for 2 weeks until he hit his pregnancy or his birth weight. They wanted them to weigh the same weight. They came out a week afterwards, and it took him 3 weeks to gain back everything that he had when he was born. So, and of course I felt like a terrible mother. I thought, I'm not giving enough nutrients because he's completely breastfed. He's never had any formula at all. And so I felt like a terrible mother. And of course you're hormonal, and you're crazy, and you're tired. So I just bawled for like 3 days straight because I thought I was killing my child, which that wasn't the fact at all. But now he eats a lot. They go through growth spurts at 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and 3 months and 6 months. So right now he's in preparation for going through another growth spurt. So he eats almost every 2 hours. Most babies do eat every 2 hours, but when they go through growth spurts, they eat sooner. He, for the first probably 6 weeks, every night he woke up every hour, on the hour. So it was a tiring 6 weeks. He would eat, and then I'd fall asleep, and about 30 minutes later, I'd wake back up again to feed him. So it was really tiring. But until the past 2 nights, he's slept for 3 or 4 hours at a time. So, but now he's going through growth spurts, so he eats every 2 hours. So that's him in a nutshell. He has gotten better to the point where he can hold his head up. Most babies, like you'll see Jody's baby, she won't be able to hold her head up. I mean, she might be able to, I don't know. She does pretty well. She does pretty well. He was terrible. He has a very weak neck. But now he can hold it up, and he looks around. He's more attentive. He started to smile, and he'll follow you throughout the room. He responds really well to sounds. So if he hears something, he kind of looks around until he figures out what it is. And he's awake sometimes for 3 hours at a time. Then he'll take like an hour or 2 hour nap. Or he'll be awake for an hour and then take like a 10 or 20 minute nap. It just depends on how long he's awake. And he cries a lot. But
We watched some video clips of the Dunstan theory of cry decoding. Have you been able to distinguish if it's
yes.
just a hungry cry?
He has different types of cries. So kind of go, nah, nah, when he's hungry. That's his crying. Or if he wants his diaper change, he just screams. That's really what he does. He just screams out. Another thing he's done lately is he's discovered his voice. So not only has he discovered his voice, but he's discovered that he can scream really, really loud. And sometimes he's crying for no reason, and so I just kind of pop him on the butt, and I'm like, you're fine. And he kind of goes, and then he's fine. So it's really, I don't know why he cries. It's kind of out of the blue sometimes when he does that. For a while, we thought he had colic, but it's actually because we found out babies are breastfed. Sometimes they don't like the things
would you talk about your diapers?
Oh yes, I'll talk about my diapers. He's wide awake.
What do you care if I help him?
Oh, he'll be fine. He just likes to be held.
Hey, buddy.
I am doing cloth diapers. He doesn't have one on right now because we were given some diapers, a lot of diapers actually, and so we're trying to use all of those up before we go into the cloth diaper. I did use some for a while that my cousin had given us, but they were Velcro ones and they kind of itched his skin, like they rubbed really hard, and so he had cuts in his skin from the Velcro, and so finally we just stopped using them. And I went online and my friend gave me a book about the different types of diapers. I should have brought it. There's a bunch of different type of cloth diapers. There's all-in-ones, all-in-twos. There's hybrid diapers that are kind of like your regular diapers, only they're cloth and you just wash them as a whole. There's ones that have things that go in a pocket, so if your child pees a lot, then you can put 2 pads in there instead of just one. I bought Best Bottom ones. They are claimed to be probably the best kind. They are ones that they're called all-in-twos is what they're called. So there's 2 pieces of them. And these snap in, and then you just rinse them off and you wash them as a whole. And you can use these are called covers. You can use them 2 times, like you change it twice before you use another one of these for sanitary purposes. If they poop in them, then you're supposed to like change it obviously right then. But these, they have a bunch of little different snaps is because they can wear them from when they are born until they are potty trained. And all you do is adjust it to the size of your child as you go along. And the inside piece snaps into them. They say, now these diapers are really expensive at first. I got 9 of these and 24 of these, which is not very much. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Thinking about how a child goes to the bathroom probably 8 or 9 times during the day, or however many. So it's really not that much, and it cost me $250 to get all of that. But yes, it's expensive right off the bat. But if you use cloth diapers, you actually end up saving $6,000 over a 2-year period, from the time they're born until you have them potty trained. And that's if your child is potty trained too. Some kids aren't potty trained until 2.5 to 3. So I thought it was a pretty good investment.
And the comparison of disposables, you can spend $20 for, well, when they're itty bitty, I don't know if that's 75 to 80 diapers or something like that. And you can go through those pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So $20 here, $20 there, or
It adds up.
go online and get the case lots, and it's going to be a bit more affordable, but still over the long haul. As a breastfed baby, does he poop almost every time he's fed?
No, he did at first. So I literally feed him. About 10 minutes later, it was like poop all over the place. Breastfed babies have different colored poop, but now he only poops maybe 3 times a day, and maybe once a night. So that's pretty normal. Breastfed babies have different type of poop, if you will. It's yellow and really runny. And the way they explain it is it's supposed to look like mustard seeds, the color yellow, with a little bit of cottage cheesiness to it, which is really weird. But it's exactly how it works.
You all wanted to know that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Of course, when Doug changes his diaper and it's poop filled, he always goes, "Mom," because he doesn't want to do it. He thinks it's gross. And I always say, "You're going to stick your arm into a cow's butt up to your shoulder. You can't change your son's diaper." That's what I say to him. Anyway, I also have. We do actually use a lot of. We buy our wipes, but we also have a lot of cloth wipes, which they actually kind of gross me out, which I don't know why they gross me out. It's the same thing as the cloth diapers. I don't know why I don't use the cloth wipes. But anyway, that is
It certainly is a light. He's focused on those bright lights.
Yes. He smiles a lot. He scowls if he doesn't like something because the lot drops go in. Or like sometimes he's not crying, he'll kind of whimper and he'll frown his little mouth and he'll like he doesn't like it. And then he gets over it. And he grunts a lot too. I don't know, most babies, I don't know if they grunt but he does like to chew on his hands. He'll take a pacifier every now and then. I read a book on colic. I don't know if you guys have discussed colic a lot.
No.
The book is called Happiest Baby on the Block. And there's also a book called Happiest Toddler on the Block. And this guy did a lot of research. He dedicated quite a bit of time to researching the reason for colic, because they have all these theories, like it's something you eat, it's how stressed you are, it's that, you know, they're uncomfortable, or it's always, or they're gassy. And he disproves all these theories and just says that some babies just have the need to be held just like they're in the womb. They're warm, they hear your heartbeat, they hear your voice, they are moving around, they hear a shushing noise because the sound in the womb is like the sound of a vacuum. So that's why people shush their babies, is because that noise is familiar to them. And so he was a little bit colicky when he was first born, but we swaddle him. So he's literally as tight as he can be, just like they are in the womb. They're kind of squished, so we kind of squish him a little bit. We turn him on his side, so he's sideways. We put his pacifier in his mouth, and we sway, and we shush him. There are 5 S's: swaddle, shush, sway, side, and what's the other one? There's another one. I can't think of it. Oh, suckling. 5 S's. And so if you do that, it instantly calms them, and it makes them feel like, you know, there's something familiar. They can hear your heartbeat. They're warm. They can't sprawl their arms out, because if they do this, they have so many neutrons, and not neutrons, they have so many neurons in their head that are going, oh my gosh, what's going on? And the more they are able to do this, the more it sends to their brain, and so it overwhelms them, and it overstimulates their mind. So if you can limit their arm movement, it doesn't send so many neurons in their head, which is pretty interesting. So if you ever have a baby, I would suggest reading that book, seriously. It's a lifesaver.
So I could put the author on the shelf, and it really does sound like great advice. Great advice. Do you have any questions? This little guy is a handful.
He's such a fun.
And if you aren't holding him every day, just practice carrying him around. Well, let's see, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
3 sacks of sugar.
Yeah.
And see how quickly your arms get tired.
Actually, your back is going to I don't know if you experience that or not, but you hunch all the time because you're just like holding them like this. So, yeah, it's really hard to straighten up because then you push them out. But, oh, I forgot to say, when he was born, they had to use one of those little vacuum sucks on him. So he had like a little purple spot on his head for about 3 weeks because it bruised that little spot. Because his little hand was like this on his head. So, and it didn't go very good.
But he's got a well-shaped head, perfect, even hair, the hair grows.
And when I was pregnant, my husband believes in the ring theory. Have you guys ever heard of the ring test? You put a gold band on a string, and you hold it over your belly, and if it swings back and forth like a pendulum, it's a boy, and if it goes in a circle, it's a girl. But then you can put it over a woman's arm, and it goes in a circle, and you can take yours out, and a guy can put his under, and it stops dead in its tracks, and it starts swinging like a pendulum. Yeah, so we did that like millions of times just to double check that it wasn't fake. We didn't find out what it was.
Oh, you haven't had the ultrasound pictures to confirm, so. And it worked.
It worked. So if you guys ever get pregnant, you can try that. It's really cool. But that's an old wives' tale too. It's not always right.
Handsome, all decked in his little cowboy gear.
He does have to. Oh, and I was also going to show you guys this. Because I breastfeed, I know it's totally weird. I'm sure if you guys, before I had a baby, I thought it was so weird when people said, oh, I breastfeed. I'm like, it's just so weird to say that. I don't know why, but it weirded me out. Anyway, but now I say it all the time because I don't really care. Anyway, they have these things called Hooter hiders. That's what they're called. Not kidding you. Anyway, so if you're in public, and they make them in all shapes and sizes, some of them are like shawl-covered Hooter hiders, so they like go around your body and they cover your back up. I just wear tank tops underneath, so then the tank top doesn't come up, and so then my back isn't exposed and that kind of stuff. But they go over your head, and they have these little things in them, so you can see your baby straight down, but no one else can unless they're standing over the top of you. So then this goes over the baby, and you can feed them right there in public, and nobody sees your hooters. Isn't that cool?
Whoever came up with that invention.
I know, that's pretty awesome.
There is still some controversy, and thank you for bringing that up, whether or not it is appropriate or inappropriate. If you're in a restaurant and dining, would it be offensive to anyone if a table or a booth, some distance from you is also dining?
A lot of people are covered by it, but
Something we learned is, here at Shadwell State as a public institution, we're required by law to have provisions for breastfeeding, nursing, or pumping, or whatever. And Burgmeiser, land of the, Family and Consumer Science Department had none until this past fall or summer. They maybe installed a changing station, but we don't really have a comfortable lounge for moms if they prefer the privacy, or they need the electrical connections to do electric breast pumping, and so that's
they actually make backpack ones now. So yeah, so they can go on your back, and then you don't have to hold it there. They have a little thing like a sick. Yeah, I don't have that one. Yeah, it straps to you. It's kind of cool. So.
Speaking of mom,
I think he has the cutest little crying face because his little eyes turn to half moons. It's cute, I think. I'm a mean mom. That's what that is anyway. Oh, and then I was going to show you, she noticed this. They have these little things, and I don't know if she has a different one. She has one that hooks to the top of this. So it's like a blanket that hooks to your strap so then you don't have to worry about falling off. I have like a little sleeping bag thing that zips up. And it's made specifically for car seats. And it goes down in, and then this part zips over the top of them. So if you go outside, you can lay this over the top. If not, then it's just like that. It's like a little car seat sleeping bag.
And it looks like it's warm.
It's Sherpa, so it's warm.
warm under them as well as over them. So yeah, something that we kind of talked a little bit about is the expense. The initial expense can be a ticker shock factor for people who might not anticipate. The car seat is an absolute requirement. You don't leave the hospital without one.
Yes, they have to check your car seat. They check it in the car, and then they have to watch you put your child in the car seat in the car.
And if you don't pass the test, you don't get to go home.
Right.
So it's a very important part of safety, and I understand the regulations might be changing, that kids may need to stay backward facing rather than forward facing until they're 2, or of a do you have a weight? Do you have a weight down? I should read up on that again because it just boggled my mind thinking that's going to be a big child. And
some of them too is that they have to be at the top of the car seat, like their head has to be at the top of the car seat. And if it goes to that, then it gets switched to the other one.
or need a bigger car seat. And those are not inexpensive accessories to have, but important to have. They caution a lot of people about not buying used car seats, because if they have been in an accident, they're no longer safe.
Right.
And you may not always know that. It's not like the used Carfax, where you can find out if it's been in some kind of collision or has airbag pressure or something like that. So those should be new investments, and also crib requirements, spacing of the slats and etc. Maybe a little dicey to go buy a used crib, an older crib like that. It may not have the adequate safety spacing between bars and things.
And a big thing that hospitals are about is co-sleeping. They don't want you sleeping as your child in the bed with them because of SIDS and like suffocation issues. But
Stephanie found a very interesting article, and some are wavering on that and advocating an alternative.
The co-sleeping beds that are right up against the bed rather than having them co-sleep in the beds.
The mattress and the box springs.
Yeah.
I think in the 212, just small.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you and give Jody some time to show off and say,
Yes.
this is